Hidden Gems Coaching. The do's and don'ts of writing a winning resume. This is the Career Crossroads mini-series, session 2. Hi everyone, I'm Robin Cartwright. As an empowerment coach and intuitive career planner, it is my passion to help you find work and shape a career that brings total fulfillment and success. So let's talk about what you really need. Do you need a resume or a CV? Well, a CV is correctly called a curriculum vitae. It's typically for the academic professionals. Sometimes engineers, software engineers use them. And a CV would be required for jobs in which are academic or in the medical field, or ones where you have things that have been published that you're trying to have listed, along with any awards or research projects. The majority of us use resumes. And a resume is a marketing tool for you. Consider it your brochure. It tells the company how to contact you, your career goals, your professional work experience, any notable skills, higher education and certifications. So it's a brochure for you. Now, this is your advertisement. This is your brochure. So what do you want a company to know about you? If you're thinking about when you go to a hotel, or you're looking at a brochure online or a website, what is it that you're trying to display? Well, in a resume, you're trying to explain who you are and what your experience is to show the company that you are a viable candidate for this job. So we need to take out our notebooks. Remember, I told you about needing a notebook. So take out your notebook and brainstorm about 5 things a company should know about you. Just off the top of your head, what are 5 things that a company should know about you? Take a moment and do that. If you can't think of anything, kind of think of your job, the last job you had. What was it that made you stand out? For example, if there's a software that you have, what did you do in your last job? Just think of 5 things. Okay. All right. So your resume basics, let's go over them. The length of a resume, anywhere from 1 to 2 pages max. We really don't want to get into 3 to 4 or 5 pages because it takes 60 seconds for a recruiter or hiring manager to review a resume. And you want to have it 1 to 2 pages, folks. Your contact information, your name, your phone number, LinkedIn, website URL if you have one. And as for that name, what do you want them to call you? So many of us have names because we're a global world. So we'll have a name from another country that's probably hard for some people to pronounce. So in parentheses, put the name that people want to call you. Diane, Joe, whatever it is, put it in parentheses. Some of us are juniors. So if you want to be called that, make sure you put it down. Objective statement. This informs potential employers of your career goals. Now, not everybody puts objective statements on their resume. I personally like them because as a recruiter, when you're looking, you see that and you're like, oh, okay, this person's a recruiter looking for recruiting work, or this person's in accounting looking for accounting. It just kind of clarifies it for me, but I can also read your resume and see what exactly that you are. If you're changing careers, then you really do need to put that objective statement or a professional statement up there so that I understand that you're changing careers. So we can talk more about that in a more in-depth session. Skills only include skills that are relevant to your job position. So if you are going for a job that's in accounting and You have other skills. Maybe you were in project management, or maybe you were in warehousing at one time. You don't want to emphasize those, and you don't want to put those in the skills sections. You want to put the skills that are relevant to the position for which you are applying for. Work and professional experience. List these in reverse chronological order, which means put the most recent at the top and the one 5 or 10 years down the road at the bottom. List them in reverse chronological order. Education and certifications include only the most recent and those that are applicable to the job. Include college experience, not high school, unless high school is the information that you have. So if you've on off to college and you did an AA degree, or you did a bachelor's degree, you have a master's degree, put those in there. You don't need to put your high school. Keywords. Okay, keywords are crucial for the modern search engine, or robots. With artificial intelligence that's out there doing a search, you need to ensure that your resume gets looked at, and these are called keywords. A keyword is a word from the job description that is basic to the position. Hey folks, we live with robots. And if you don't get out there and put the keywords, what happens is your resume goes into the system and it floats around in the system and it doesn't go to that recruiter. So when a recruiter or hiring manager is looking for something, say for example that they're looking for a software person with AWS. Okay, if that's not in that resume, AWS, I'm not going to see it. If I was looking for a recruiter and they didn't have the ATS system I was looking for, or other ATS systems that I might be interested in, I'm not going to look for them. If you're looking for a manager and you're looking for certain years of experience as a direct manager, make sure that that's put in there. So take a few minutes right now and write down 5 keywords that you can think of that will help you with your search. So for example, any certifications, software, communication, detail oriented, organized, managed, those are all keywords in job descriptions. So take a few moments and think about 5 of them. So keywords can be everything from the technical skills of the job to the soft skills of the job. So for example, communication is a soft skill. AWS is a technical skill. If you're thinking of management, direct management, supervisory, those are all skills. They're soft and they can also be technical. So what I like to do on the keywords is on the job that I'm applying for is I highlight the keywords in that job application and make sure they're on that resume. Okay. So then we've got how to showcase the best version of yourself. So folks, I'm going to tell you, please, for goodness sake, always check your resume, spell check, no typos. If there's anything you do out there is have a friend look over your resume, not for formatting or design, but for spelling errors. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen them in my career. You don't want to look like a ass when you're putting the words assess. Yes, it's happened. Asses instead of assesses. Assessing. I have literally seen that. I have also seen people spell their former companies wrong. Please, you worked there. If you can't spell it, then how do I know you worked there? That is one of the biggest pet peeves. So if you do anything, double check your spelling. If you can have somebody look it over for spelling and grammar, that's great. There's also things out there like Grammarly. Pretty much everything has spell check, and you can do this online. Keep your contact information up to date. So I have gotten resumes where literally the emails don't work, the cell phones don't work. Really, I can't find you if it's not out there. And then somebody will say, oh, my cell phone died, I'm so sorry. I email, I call, I LinkedIn you, I'm trying to get a hold of you. If you don't have a good contact information, I can't get a hold of you. Be clear and honest in your objective statement. What exactly are you looking for? So keep in mind, you want to sound confident. You want to sound powerful. So confident and energetic customer service representative looking for a dynamic work environment where I can utilize my experience to flourish in a new team. It's a great way. You just told me you're confident. You just told me you're energetic. I'm looking for that person that has those customer service skills. And then I can utilize your experience. Well, this is awesome. All right, let's think about it, folks. Write down 3 things you want from your next job. What and why do they matter to you? So think about it, because you want to make sure that you put those things in your resume. If you're looking for a dynamic environment, if you're looking for a fun place, let's think about what it is that you want in your next job. Take a few moments and write down 3 things. You can write down that you want a fun environment to work in. You can write down that you're looking for a well balanced, passionate place. So think about what it is that you want. Just take a few moments and think about what it is that you want. And the reason why we're doing this is because you are creating in your mind what you're looking for. So let's start there. What are you looking for? What are the 3 things that you want? Okay. Now, remember, it's a marketing tool. Resumes are not legal documents. You can embellish them within reason, but don't lie. The last thing you want to do is put on a degree that you don't have, put on a job that you don't have. Now, if you can't remember the exact dates of when you worked somewhere, that's okay. Just put the month and the year. It's hard to remember when you go backwards in time. Oh my gosh, what exact day? Was it a Monday, Tuesday? Was it the first, second, the third? I can't always remember. So you can put the month October 2002 blank. Okay? So you want to bullet point accomplishment statements. And you want to start every statement with what we call a power verb or an action verb. So if possible, make them quantifiable. You want to have return on your investments. And if you aren't quite sure how to do that, you can go and look at other resumes that are out there and see what they have for ROIs. If you're not sure about the power verbs, you can Google power verbs for resumes, and it'll give you, okay, if you're in management, think of these words. If you're in customer service, think of these words. As for your ROI, so your return on investment, what is it they are investing in? They're paying you a salary, so they're investing in you to do a job. So what can you do for the company? Save the company 20K in vendor costs. How? How did you do that? So when I was looking for a job in staffing, and I had done this where I saved the company money on vendor costs. I had to write the how, and the how was because I came up with a system that weeded through the recruiters, the amount of agencies that we were using. So I had to put that in there. So you need to put the how. So implemented new safety training and reduced worker injuries by 20%. How? By having weekly meetings, monthly meetings, by making sure they attended the OSHA and handled the OSHA meetings, those type of things. So you want to make yourself look good. You are the brand, and so you need to sell it. Write down 5 of your strengths right now and attributes, your big wins and successes that you had in your last job or two. What are they? What are the special talents that you're bringing to the job? And then if you have an ROI, what is the how? Think about the how. So, like in my example, implemented new safety training and reduced worker injuries by 20%. How? Kind of think about that. Okay. So now, what are the don'ts? Here we go. Don't include a photo of yourself in your resume unless you're in modeling or a graphics type or a movie studio or advertising. You do not need to put your face on a resume. I know some countries you like to do that, and that's fine. But here in the United States, um, don't do that, folks. It's really not a good idea. And as we get older, there's a lot of bias out there, and I'm not going to lie. So it's not good. Just keep your photo off your resume. Don't leave employment date gaps without an explanation. So a lot of us have taken time off from jobs for various reasons. I know that folks during COVID had to take time off to care for people. That's fine. Put your dates down, and then in between, if you can, put an exclamation. Took time off to care for loving family member, something like that. You could, if you took an extended period abroad, just put lived abroad. You could say things like that. That way it explains it a little better if you can. Do not lie or misrepresent yourself. Please. That's a no-go. Do not put information on there that is not true. So if you didn't get a certain degree, don't put that you did. Don't use abbreviations or slang. So slang's really bad. Let's just put it that way. Abbreviations, we don't always understand them. And just because I'm looking for a scientist does not mean that I understand all the abbreviations needed in that job, or a software engineer. If I'm a recruiter, most likely I don't know the abbreviations. So spell it out. Don't include references on your resume. At the bottom of the resume, put references available upon request at the bottom of the page. You don't need to put all your references. It adds more to it. And I'm not going to call them until I'm ready to bring you on board, or I'm getting close to thinking about bringing you on board. So you don't need to do that. Keep in mind to always spell check your work. Really, I cannot tell you how many resumes I've gotten where the spelling is bad or the grammar is bad. And sometimes you come from another country and you're applying for a job in a country, and maybe you don't know the language as well on paper. You think you do, but ask somebody to review it for you. That's all it takes. You don't need to have them go over your formatting and, should this be here or that be there. Just ask them to look at it and have them review it for spelling and grammar and the way in which you should pronounce things. So, for example, a lot of times people come from other countries and the grammar is all messed up because a lot of Latin languages say things a little differently than in the United States and vice versa. So, really, if you're going to apply for a job in that country, ask somebody from that country to look it over. Include your action verbs. Go Google it, action verbs, power verbs. Put those in there and don't put the same one constantly in your bullet points. Mix them up, folks. You don't want to say managed and then the next bullet say managed. Mix them up. Keywords are very important. They're very important because of the fact that we live with robots or artificial intelligence. So you want to make sure that you get those keywords out there. Make sure they're in the skills section. Make sure they're in your bullet points. You want to get those keywords. Highlight the job description, go back into your resume and make sure that it's in there. Return on investment, your ROI. Quantify it whenever possible, especially if you're going into a job like sales or management. You want to quantify your return on investment. What are they getting from you? Folks, it takes a recruiter or a manager literally 60 seconds to read through a resume and decide pass, fail. I'm not kidding. And that's the 60 seconds that you want to make sure spelling, action verbs, keywords, and return on investment. You really do need to make sure to have somebody look over for spelling. I know it's not easy. Finding a job is tough, but I'm here to help you through this. That's why I put this mini series together. So stay tuned for the next one. It's how to network to find the job that you want. And I'm here to teach you some tricks of the trade. If you want to know more about me, go ahead and go onto my website at hiddengemscoaching.co. You can go to my Instagram at hiddengems.robin or my Facebook page at Hidden Gems Coaching Robin Cartwright. I'd be more than happy to talk with you if you want to set up some time. I have lots of packages. And for those that are members, I do have a special $99 package where you can have time with me for only $99. So go to my membership, look into it. I will look forward to working with you. Thank you.